It is October 17 and I am going for another hike at Bluewater Lake State Park, and as you can tell, I'm leaving from my campsite again. There's an out and back trail this time, and I'm not going to tell you what its name is or where it's going because then you will know what we're doing. I want to save it as a surprise. Normally I like to do my hikes in the morning, but it's the afternoon now because last night was the coldest night that I've experienced on this trip. There was frost on my windows and I tried to make some cacao to warm me up, and the propane, it took half an hour and the water still did not even boil. So you know that that's cold out. So it took a long time to thaw. This park is called Bluewater Lake, but to me the water looks green. It's always disconcerting when the trail starts off on a downward slope. But anyways, it's gonna be good. It was among the mountains of Judah that David sought refuge from the pursuit of Saul. He settled in the cave of Adullam, a place that, with a small force, could be held against a large army. So when his brothers and all his father's house heard it, they went down there to be with him. I was wondering what was making noise in the woods. Wouldn't you know it? He's in my way. Are you friendly cows? You think so. I think so. Your tail's wagging. Okay, bye. Now, I crossed this stream in my last hike, but when we get to the other side, instead of turning left, we're going to turn right. There. The family of David could not feel secure, knowing that at any time the unreasonable suspicions of Saul might be directed towards them on account of their relation to David. They had now learned what was becoming generally known in Israel, that God had chosen David to be the future ruler of his people, and they believed they would be safer with him, even though he was a fugitive in a lonely cave, than they could be while exposed to the insane madness of a jealous king. In the cave of Adullam, the family were united in sympathy and affection. David could make melody with his voice and his harp and sing, "Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity." He had tasted the bitterness of distrust on the part of his own brothers, and now the harmony that had taken the place of discord brought joy to the exile's heart. And it is here that he composed the 57th Psalm. It was not long before David's company was joined by others who desired to escape the exactions of the king. There were many who had lost confidence in the ruler of Israel, for they could see that he was no longer guided by the Spirit of the Lord. And everyone that was in distress and everyone that was discontented resorted to David, and he became the captain over them. And there was approximately 400 men with him. So he had his own little kingdom starting, but even with his retreat in the mountains, he was far from feeling secure, for he received continual evidence that the king had not relinquished his murderous purpose. He found a refuge for his parents with the king of Moab, which was cool because that king and Saul were enemies. Plus, his great-grandmother Ruth was from Moab. Hey, there's more trespassers on this trail. You know what? I think that's a cow path anyways. So I'm going to go on this path and hope that it's the right path. I think it is. But anyways, it's fun to see cows. They don't mind the water. Oh my, how many are there? They keep coming and coming. Wow, this is a special moment on our hike. Oh, I'm coming through the bulrushes. Well, that was kind of fun. I grew up with cows, so that's pretty special for me. Then the prophet Gad, who joins David and has a long career during his reign, told him not to stay in the stronghold, but to go into the forest of Hereth. The experience through which David was passing was not unnecessary or fruitless. God was giving him a course of discipline to fit him to become a wise general, as well as a just and merciful king. And now there's the reason I hike this trail. You're catching a glimpse of it. I don't know if I want to go much further. It's pretty boggy and wet. Anyways, there you go. The Bluewater Dam. And now we go back. Well, Saul had been preparing to ensnare and capture David in the cave of Adullam. And when it was discovered that David had left this place of refuge, the king was greatly enraged. If you will recall Doeg, the Edomite from the last hike, well, he was the one that reported to Saul about David's visit to Ahimelech, the high priest. Saul was enraged, and he confronted Ahimelech. And because, as you will recall, David lied to Ahimelech about his reason for being there, Ahimelech innocently said he knew nothing of what Saul was talking about. Saul didn't believe him, so he ordered Ahimelech and his household to die, and also the city of Nob, including the women and children. But the servants of Saul would not lift their hands to strike the priests of the Lord. So Saul got Doeg to kill them, which he happily did. Well, one of the sons of Ahimelech escaped, and his name was Abiathar. He fled to David and told him all that had happened. David felt terrible, but encouraged Abiathar to stay with him because God would keep them safe. Now you can see where I trod through that canyon. Well, back to the campground now, but I've got one more little trail to take you on. Ta-da! Now you can see where I was. I think I was supposed to be able to make it to that cabin, but it was way too boggy down there. So I couldn't do it, but you can see it from here. And you can have a nice view of Bluewater Lake, which I named Greenwater Lake. Pretty big lake from that dam. The healing hiker gives this dam trail a 4 out of 5. She enjoyed it very much. Can you imagine someone so filled with hate that he would kill all the priests of the Lord? There was 85 of them who died. Just remember that it does not pay to tell a lie. You could hurt innocent people.